Hi guys, it's Shannon and welcome back to my channel. If you don't know, I've been away for a week, so all the videos, the last, I think 4 or 5 videos have actually been pre-recorded and uploaded for while I was on holiday. I'm now back, and today I'm going to show you the makeup that I genuinely used while I was away. So I took this big old bag of makeup, which has, like, I went overboard. Like, there's brow stuff in here, there's lashes, bronzers, primers, 2 different types of foundation. Who needs to take 2 different types of foundation away with them, honestly? I had baking powder in here, and honestly, it was too much. And while I was away, I figured out what I was genuinely using day to day. I did wear makeup most days, which doesn't happen when I'm at home, pretty much. As you can tell, I'm not wearing makeup, I am going to film this, so. But, yeah, so I'm going to show you how I genuinely, oh, everything's mixed up, hang on. How I genuinely did my makeup and what I actually used. And the next time I go on holiday, this is probably the one I'm going to take with me, to be honest. I have a big old bag of brushes right here. Just put them in this, because I figured if I put my brushes and sponges in this, then this is easy to clean. But to be honest, I took too many brushes too, to be honest with you. And I didn't really need the sponges at all, to be honest. But yeah, so let's just get into this. Okay, so while I was away, honestly, could have gotten away with just taking this many brushes. So 4 face brushes and 4 eyeshadow brushes. Honestly, could have got away with just taking them. So this is how I would start. Concealer. So I took my Revolution Fast Base Concealer in the shade C1. Sorry, I just need to adjust this. And what I would do is I would put it on my more problem areas. While I was away, I did actually have a couple of need to take that out. I had a couple of breakouts while I was away, and I got sunburn. Fun. Didn't even go anywhere sunny. I stayed in the UK. Actually, to be fair, it was quite nice at one point in the UK. I say in the UK, like, oh, across the UK, it was so lovely. It really wasn't. Like, where me and Mad Mac were was nice, but where we live was absolutely horrid. At the moment, it looks like I'm drawing war paint. So I basically just use this as foundation. Put it pretty much everywhere. And then I would take this brush and just buff it in. Go onto my eyelid, just everywhere. So at the start of the week, I did actually try and use the foundation, but the foundation I took with me was A, a touch dark, and B, it's an issue I have with all L'Oreal foundations really, is that they're quite yellow, and I don't have a yellow undertone, so they look really iffy on me. But I can normally fix that with just like my lightning drops and stuff, and it fixes it, but I didn't take them, I forgot them. Yeah, I think the only day I didn't wear any makeup was the day we went swimming. Bear in mind, we only went swimming for about an hour because Mad Mac got cold and actually started turning blue. I don't know what's going on with my eyebrow at the moment, it's a bit red. That's what I do, it just evens out my complexion a bit. Like, you can still see my skin through it, but it just evened out my complexion a bit. So then I would take the Revolution matte base powder in the shade P1, yeah. And I just put this on the face just to set the concealer, because otherwise I will crease. And I just put it on in circular motions. So this also adds a little bit of coverage because it is a powder foundation. I actually really like this powder. While I was away, I really got, like, I liked it when I reviewed it, but I didn't think I was going to be reaching for it as much as I am. And I've used it that much, I've actually managed to rub off the Revolution that was written on the actual pan itself. But I really like it. So I always put more powder around on my eyelids just so eyeshadow blends a bit easier on there. And we stayed in a static caravan. When I was younger, me and my family used to tour all the time with a caravan. And then when it broke and we couldn't afford to get a new one, we started staying in statics. But when my parents split up, we didn't really do that anymore. Well, obviously we didn't do that anymore together, but like me and my dad and my sister didn't go away anymore. So it just kind of stopped really. But it was a nice experience to take Mad Mac because it's something I was used to and he wasn't. Wait, I need one more brush. Sorry, just realised there's one more brush I need, and it's you. Okay. So, next what I would do is I'd take my bronzer, which I was just using the Revolution Reloaded Take a Vacation. Like, Reloaded Bronzer in Take a Vacation, sorry. Sorry, these are all so shiny and scratched as well because they've been in my travel stuff. So then I just take this brush and just put that on the perimeter of my face, just a little bit, because you know I wanted to look a little bit sun-kissed on holiday, not especially considering the fact I always burn before I actually get a tan, and then even when I do get a tan, it doesn't necessarily look like a tan. And the first thing to burn is actually usually my scalp. Is that weird? I feel like that's weird. So, yeah, just dust it on like that. Don't know. I didn't actually wear mascara while I was away. I did take them with me, but my eyes started to get really irritated when I was wearing it, so I threw them both away. Next, what I would do is I would apply some blush, and this is the Zoella X Colourpop Pressed Powder Blush in Soulmate. I actually really like using this because it's pigmented, but it's subtle. It's like it's buildable. There you go, that's the word I'm looking for. What am I looking in the beauty? And I've overdone it again, nothing new there. So, because I pretty much overdid it every single day, I just take my powder brush and just put some powder over the top, and it would dial that down a bit. Plus, putting powder over the top, I feel like it makes it look more natural, like it's actually part of my skin. And then after that, I would apply highlighter. So I actually did take 2 highlighters with me. So the first, right, I took more than 2 highlighters with me, because I took ones that I didn't use. Like I took the Zoella one and I used it like once, I think. So, and then I was reaching for this all the time. So this palette, this is the Sophx Revolution palette. And what I've been doing with this that I found is actually really complementing to my skin tone is I've just been putting my brush through all of them like this and then applying it to my skin. And I feel like that's just like, it's obviously like blinding, but it's also softer, if that makes sense. So that's all what I was doing, and I got this idea. I was watching Tutti's video, like Tutti Westbrook, Glam Life Guru. I was watching her video with Scott Barnes, and he had a palette like this, not this one obviously, but he had a palette like this, and he just mixed them all together. I was like, I could try that with the palettes that I have that are all powder, because, you know, I'm only ever really going to use the purple and the pink ones for Halloween, and the rest of these are all too dark for me. So I was like, interesting, must investigate. So that's what I was doing all week, and it really complements my skin and just gives me that natural, almost summer glow, to be honest with you. that's what I did for that. But the other highlighter I took with me, I didn't even take it with me. My sister gave it to me while I was there. So this is the Mono eyeshadow in Paper Luxe from Revolution. They don't have it anymore, and look how much of this is gone. Now this turned out really ashy on my little sister because she's not as pale as I am, but this tan, and she's also more yellow undertoned than my skin tone is. And so because she realised it was looking ashy on her, she gave it to me. And look at this. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love it so much. But I'm now going to have to use it sparingly because they don't sell it. Revolution, if you ever see this video, please bring this eyeshadow back. Not that they ever see this video at all. Oh, tea towel's warm. I'm not weird, it's because it's sat on a radiator. For my eyebrows, all I was doing was using my, is this Wet n Wild? Yeah, my Wet n Wild pencil and filling them in. So this obviously comes with like a spoolie on one end, which is obviously extremely helpful. I was just filling them in. And that is how I would do my eyebrows. And then I would just take the MUA brow tinted brown mascara and just set them. I don't know if this has been popping up in shot. This is the palette I used while I was away. It's just the Colourpop Zoella Brunch Date palette, and this is literally the only palette I used while I was away. I took others with me, didn't reach for them. I reached for this one. So the day-to-day look I was normally doing was I was just taking this brush, get off, and I was going into maple syrup to begin with. Okay, then I would go into Americano, just into the crease again, just to deepen out further. For those of you that are interested and don't know, it was my birthday while me and Mad Mac were away. Turned 22. It was a good day. My dad and my sister and my mother-in-law-to-be all came over to wish me a happy birthday. I got a phone call off one of my uncles. And then in the evening, me and Mad Mac went out for dinner. It was lovely. Very subdued for what my birthdays normally are. Because normally I'm like out with my auntie and uncle. We get like my cousins there, and I'd do something with my mum one day, do something with my dad another. My mum actually couldn't get over to Dymchurch to wish me a happy birthday, so she ended up not being able to come. But you know, sometimes life just gets in the way of these things. I feel like the years are like passing me by somehow. I don't know how, but it just feels like the years have disappeared. I just take a clean brush and blend out these edges. Especially these last few years, it feels like they've just gone by in a flash. You know? And like, there's so much I still want to do with my life, and I'm not even close to doing it yet. Then I take a flat brush, and I take sunny side up, and I wouldn't do that. I'd use my finger. Ignore me. So I just use my finger, put it on the center to the inner of my lid. So like the inner 3/4 of my lid, and leave the outer corner. Or the other thing I was doing was I was using one of the liquid shadows from Colourpop and Zoella. And then I was taking just this little pointed brush, and I was going into Champagne Toast and putting it in the inner corner of my eye. And I was also putting it under my brow. And then I would take the brush I was using to blend out my crease, and with the excess just go under my eye. But yeah, so that's pretty much all I was doing while I was on holiday. Oh, lip stuff. So I was using, I took more than two. Let's just establish, I took more than one of everything, but this is what I ended up using. Sorry, just putting stuff in this box so I don't lose any of it. There's magical things in this box that might appear in a later video. How many more times am I going to say, okay, I was using either the Zoella Colourpop Ultra Matte Liquid Lip and the lip liner to go with it in At Me and Oh Snap, or I was using the little one set. It depended on the day, really. I did use both, but it was usually this one. Little one. Normally it was little one because this is such a warm toned look, but sometimes I did a more cool toned look with some different shadows, and I used this one. So that was pretty much what I did while I was on holiday for my makeup. And obviously I didn't have my hair straight back like this. I had it down most of the time when it wants to behave, which isn't a lot of the time, to be honest. I did have setting spray, but it's over there somewhere and I can't be asked to go get it. So I was just using the Primark setting spray, the Hydrate one, which again is unusual for me because normally I like a very matte base. This is very unusual for me. So this is how I was doing my makeup while I was on holiday. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up button for me. If you're enjoying me and my content, click that subscribe button and ring that bell so you'll get notified every time I upload a new video. I'm trying to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but we'll see. So far, I'm kind of keeping up with it, but we'll see how it goes. I hope you're having a lovely week, and I'll see you all through the screen. Bye guys!